What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you don't remember from last video, we picked up this flooded 21-foot Tahoe boat, we flushed it out, drained the engine, and somehow we got it running. But the bad news is, when we hooked up water to the boat, the engine filled right back up with it. So today we're going to figure out if it's just a bad exhaust riser, or if we're dealing with a cracked block from not being winterized. Either way, we're digging into it, so if y'all have any guidance for us, drop them in the comments below, because any help from y'all, we really appreciate it. So let's get with it. So we got the exhaust riser out, and we're using the borescope to find any cracks or damage, but we can't find any right now, so let's see what the problem is.
Yeah, so we've been going through these exhaust risers. This is the exhaust manifold here. This is the actual riser. And I was hoping that we'd find an obvious crack or something. That way you know that's where the water's coming in. And normally 80% of the time, if you got oil mixed with the water, it's going to be a bad exhaust riser. And they say they only last 5 to 7 years. Or maybe longer if you're just in fresh water and you take good care of your stuff. So I was hoping this was going to be the issue, and it still may be. It may be a tiny crack that opens up when it's hot. So I'm not seeing nothing, so next step, we need to see if maybe we have a bad head gasket, or maybe something in the intake wasn't lined up just right, or it could be the block crack from not being winterized correctly, and if that's the case, then the whole engine is garbage. So hopefully that's not it. Hopefully maybe it's just a bad head gasket. So let's go flush the engine again. We drain the water out. We're going to put some diesel in it, flush it, put some motor oil, take the spark plugs, put some oil on top of the pistons, and then try to get us a compression test.
Alright, we got some diesel. Probably only put about a gallon in. I know it's not the ideal thing to do, but whenever you got water mixed with oil, you got to flush it out. So we're just going to pour it in right through here. All right, we're going to put a little diesel down in here. The boat actually came with diesel in it, so somebody tried to do a good little cleaning on it, and they put oil down in the cylinders.
Yeah, and since we took the exhaust risers out, there's a lot more room to work with down here.
Yeah, just so tight to work on boats. So now at least Tyler can fit on that side whenever we take the spark plugs back out and do the compression test. Yeah, just put maybe a gallon in it. Then we'll drain that out and then put the oil. All right, we're getting our oil filter changed. We're just gonna put the cheapest oil they make in it. Got a cheap Fram filter. And get that changed out. Then we'll take the spark plugs out, spray some Kroll in each one. Then we're going to drain the oil, or drain the diesel out, then put the new oil in. Got the oil filter changed. Now Tyler's taking all the spark plugs out. And just set them up there. Keep them in order, that way I can look at it. That rubber piece from the socket came out. See it on there?
Yeah.
You don't really need it right now, taking the spark plugs out. Got the spark plugs out this side, now Tyler's doing that side. This is the only one that I see that's pretty bad. Like maybe the water's getting in on that one cylinder. I'm not sure. I had all these cleaned up nice before I cranked it back up. So we're just putting these in order. That way it kind of helps troubleshoot, keep everything. That way you know which cylinder is actually the bad one. All right, this side is out, and the only bad one over here was the last one. That'd be cylinder 7. Had some water still on that cylinder. So might be a bad head gasket right there, and maybe a bad spot over here. All right, now we're putting some Kroll down in each cylinder. Shooting about 3 seconds down in each one. And this is a brand new, I say brand new, remanufactured engine. I saw a tag on the side over there, 2023. So they probably put the engine in, and the engine just filled up with water, so they never actually used it. So I don't know if maybe they got a short block and they put heads on it and they didn't install the head gaskets correctly. See if I can show you the tag. tag right there. It says 2023 and it's a 350 engine. So maybe it was something wrong with the assembly. All right, we're gonna go drain the diesel out. Thing about working on a boat, you gotta climb in and out 100 times. So to drain it, there's this tube that comes out. You can just do it that way. See, there's still a lot of sludge in there. It's gonna take a minute. Might have to do the diesel a few times. Yeah, it's pushing out a lot of sludge. So a lot of people that say, oh, never put diesel in there, but it's just one of the things you just got to do. Part of the flushing to get all the water and sludge out. There's no exact correct thing to do. All right, went ahead and put the other gallon of diesel in too. Now it's flowing clear. So I think we do a couple oil changes after we get this thing figured out. Do a couple oil changes and then we'll be back good on the water and the engine problem. And you just gotta keep flushing like this. Diesel helps clean it and it's cheap. It's cheaper than putting oil in. Notice we got water pouring out. I looked up here, Tyler's fixing this. Somebody left a comment on one of our videos about using weed eater string to fix this. Looks like it's working. So anytime you have an idea for us, definitely leave it in the comments. We read them all and we definitely appreciate any kind of help we can get. Could you feel something that was blocking it?
Yeah, I couldn't get it in at first, but then after a few minutes I got it.
Yeah, it's definitely working. That's good. Yeah, always leave us a comment. Like we had a bunch of comments about when you're running the engine, you need to have the outdrive down. So we're gonna do that. We'll put this down. Had to lower the front of the jack, the trailer. That way this won't dig into the ground. But that's draining good now. All right, the battery's in. I lowered the outdrive. I got the compression tester. It's got different fittings on it depending on if you're using a Japanese engine or whatever. So we can work on pretty much anything. Now Tyler's gonna put the oil in. We're gonna disconnect the fuel pump down here, and then we will spin it over and check the compression on each cylinder. Maybe that'll give us an idea what's wrong. All right, we're gonna do a compression test. We got it on the first cylinder. Crank it over a little bit. Got me a sheet. I'm gonna write each one down. I think it should be between 120 and 180 maybe. I have to look it up. We're at 196. That seems high. I'm gonna write that down and we'll check it. Right, we just did the second one, and that one had 21 pounds. Definitely have an issue. So it's not the exhaust risers, and it could be a bent exhaust valve too, because water got in and bent the exhaust valve, and it's not letting it seal. All right, so here's the verdict, and it's not good. So this side over here, we had 196, 20, 10, 10. Over here we had 177, 180, 147, and 200 plus. The gauge only goes to 200, so it pegged it out. So here has to be a bent exhaust valve, because if it was just a head gasket, it would probably at least read 120, 130. This, I don't know why you would have over close to 200 or 200 plus, unless it's still getting water in it and it's pushing water and pressure in here. So I don't know what the deal is with that. So if you know, let us know. But this is definitely bad. So at a minimum, that head has to come off. I mean, both of them is gonna have to come off anyway, but the valves over here is gonna have to be fixed, changed out. They gotta be bent. So we're gonna just start taking this apart and keep troubleshooting. All right, you gotta see this. Out of all the engines I've taken apart, I've never seen nothing like this before. This is, I don't even know how it's possible. So take a look at this. I got so many different issues going on. I thought maybe I just had an exhaust riser, water getting in. Looks like there's multiple issues that's not even related to each other. So check this out. All right, hopefully you can see it. It's kind of dark. So I took the valve cover off. This one here is off of here, but there's no push rod. And I don't know how you could lose a push rod. If you look down in there, I see the lifter, so it's not like it fell through the lifter. So I'm just baffled. Maybe they forgot it when they put it together. So I'm gonna take this side apart, see if I got a major issue here. But that would explain some of the problems, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Let me get this side off and we'll take a look at it. All right, got this valve cover off. Everything looks good over here. Had a few that's a little bit loose, could have been tightened a little bit better. Trying to get this wiring harness off. I'm gonna take the intake off. That'll give me a better idea what really happened over here. I don't know if it just, the push rod snapped in half and that way both pieces drop down. Hopefully it's not in the bottom of the oil pan. So I hate to pull this whole engine out. Hopefully I can just take the two heads off right here and do whatever head work I need to do, get a machine shop to do it or whatever, and put some new head gaskets on it. So I'm gonna keep working, get this intake off and see what we got. All right, I got the intake off and the mystery just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I don't know who built this engine, but whoever did don't need to be an engine builder. So check this out. All right, I found a tie wrap connected in here. Somebody left a tie wrap. I don't know why it would be in there. And then the rod, I found it and it's bent. So it bent and came out and it just jumped out. So that's good. It's not down in the bottom of the engine. So another issue is this gasket. So I looked up the model. Let's see, it's a TF Victor 314-003, and that's the wrong intake gasket. It's not made for this engine. It needs the Fel Pro. I don't remember the model number, but it's a little bit different. So maybe water's coming out and it's filling up this valley right here, and that's what's getting oil in it. But this may be the wrong intake. I think what they did is they bought a remanufactured 350. It had a 305 in here, and they just took parts from their 305 and put on here, which I would think the intake would line up. I'm gonna have to do a little research. So I don't know yet. I might could just, maybe the whole issue was the intake gaskets just wrong and letting water seep in. Who knows? I'm gonna get the heads off because I'm sure I have a couple bent valves too. All right, I finally figured it out. I know what the problem is now. See, I think they bought a long block and then they started putting parts and pieces to build their long block into an engine, but they put the wrong intake on it. So check this out. All right, if you look here, we got a cooling port, two intakes, and a cooling port. Over here, we got a cooling port, two intakes, and nothing. You can see where the gasket outline was, so we wasn't getting any crossover water flow. So I think that water was diverting straight to the valley. So I'm pretty sure these heads, the head gaskets didn't get any water, so they probably burn up if the heads aren't warped. So I have to find a different intake. I don't know what this went on. This is the model number right here. So I don't know if this was maybe, if a 305 doesn't have the cooling ports on the end or what. So I'm gonna have to do a little research, get a new intake, get some head gaskets, and first I gotta get these heads off and see what kind of damage that is. It started raining, so I had to hurry up and grab all my tools and put some plastic over the engine. So in the shed, I did a little research, and this is what I think I figured out. I'm probably gonna need your help too. All right, I've been doing a little research since it's raining outside, and I have Vortec heads on my boat, and then the intake, it's actually Vortec, and I have the cooling ports on the front and back of the heads, but the intake is supposed to block off the coolant ports. And I thought that was just an obvious find that I found, but I don't think that's the case. So the intake I have, you see the coolant port here, and then there's no coolant port here. And I was doing some research, and it's supposed to block it off. They just have the casting and the heads like that just for symmetry, but it's made just to route through there for some reason. I don't know why. And I was curious why I couldn't find anything online, like an intake with the coolant ports on the back. So that's why it's supposed to be blocked off. So if you have any suggestions on what I should do, I know I got to get both of the heads off, and that'll give me a little more information on what's going on. But am I right about the intake supposed to block off the coolant ports on the head? That's what I'm finding online. I'm not 100% sure, so let me know down in the comments. I guess I'll end the video here. That way y'all can give me some feedback on your thoughts and what you've seen, and maybe somebody will have some good information for me. And we will see you next time.